Okay, spells and trap cards now. Again, start from the bottom to the top. Number 10 is Gold Sarcophagus. Now, I didn't really understand the full effect of it in the manga, because unfortunately I haven't got the last couple of volumes of the manga where this is used in. But ever since I got it, it's been such a useful card in my deck, and of course Yugi uses it to send the message to Aten that the dead don't need to stay in the world of the living, should go to where they belong. And that was such a touching thing in the story of the manga, and it was quite sad. But I really like the art as well, because obviously it's the original box that Yugi uses to keep his Millennium Puzzle in, which is pretty cool. So that's number 10. Number 9 is Mausoleum of the Emperor. Unfortunately, I don't actually use this in the deck, but I have used it in the past. Basically, it's so useful for high-level monsters in general, because you just pay 2,000 life points, and you can summon level 7s and 8s without any specific requirements in that. Very useful for cards like Light and Darkness Dragon, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Red Eyes, what else? Monarchs and everything. And also you have to be careful though, because if you pay too many life points and run into a serious problem where this is destroyed, or you take even more damage or anything, then obviously it can be a bit of a downside. But the other downside is the opponent can use it as well. But I really like this field spell because it just helps so much with the deck when it was in there. So that's number 9. Number 8 is Cards of Consonance. Well, not only because there's a White Stone of Legend featured in there. It was basically, I truly believe this was honestly just built for the White Stone of Legend, not only because it's featured, but you know, when you discard it, the White Stone effect activates, so you draw 2 from this card, and then you get a Blue Eyes White Dragon to your hand. And it's been such a useful card ever since I got it. And that's number 8. Number 7 is Rare Value. Now, I still believe this is a ridiculously hard card to get, because, well, I've got two. I've got an Ultimate and I've got a Super, I believe. I really like this card because the artwork is actually really pretty, and it's a specific draw card for the Crystal Beast, which is really nice, because there are loads of general cards which everybody can use, and some which can also allow your opponent to get advantage, but this is specifically only for you to use, so your opponent can't take any advantage of it. And yeah, because it's just such an awesome draw card, I really enjoy it. Number 6 is Ancient City, Rainbow Ruins. This is such a versatile card in Crystal Beast decks. I mean, it's probably the most important spell card in Crystal Beast decks, just because it's got 5 effects, and how many cards have 5 effects? Not very many, I believe. And of course these change depending on how many Crystal Beasts you got in the spell and trap cards on, but each single one is very useful. I mean, you can draw a card, you can negate spells and traps, it can't be destroyed, you can have battle damage, you can special summon a Crystal Beast. Yeah, so I mean, this card was basically designed to sort of nullify a bit of everything in the game that throws at the Crystal Beasts, and it's based on ancient Rome as well, which is pretty nice. I love the history touch and everything. I still wish they would release Advanced Dark so we could use Rainbow Dark Dragon though. Number 5 is Dragon's Mirror. Now, I've never been too keen on remove from play cards, as you know, but Dragon's Mirror is a god saver for dragon decks, because it mainly combos with cards like the 5-God Dragon or 5-Headed Dragon. You know, you just remove from play 5 dragons in the grave and you've got your 5-God Dragon on the field. For me, I only use it for obviously the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, but it's so useful because it can either target the field or graveyard, so you've got a wide range. And it actually says it can be counted as a fusion summon, so it's not a special summon at all. and of course 9 times out of 10, sometimes, well not 9 times out of 10, but most of the time your dragons will end up in the grave, because apart from the Dragoonities, dragon decks are generally slow and don't have the same, well, they have very high attack power and everything, but if their strategy goes down the drain, then you'd be in trouble. But this can save it if you've got like dragon fusions ready to summon and everything. So, and it's so useful for my deck because, as you know, I like to do polymerization, then this, and so that way, you know, I've used the original way that Kaiba uses basically before I use this. But I strongly suspect that Kaiba did have this card in GX and everything. I think he would definitely use it. So that's number 5. Number 4 is Monster Reborn, or Shisasosei in Japanese. I like this one because, well, the card art for the dub version, which is this one, is really awesome, but there's also the Japanese alternate art. Well, actually, the Japanese art is actually in the shape of a Ankh, which is the Egyptian looped cross, ancient Egyptian looped cross, sorry, which was the symbol for life. And I thought that was a really nice touch. And I'm a bit sad they didn't keep it in the dub, but I can understand because it's a looped cross. I mean, some people would take that offensive. I don't know why, but some people would. But both parts are really cool, and the fact that it can resurrect monsters from either graveyard is really useful as well, especially if you're in a tight pinch. So that's number 4. Number 3 is Ancient Rules. Now, this card has really helped me out so much in my deck. I mean, it can be used in any deck that uses high-level normal monsters. So, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and Dark Magician. There's the top 3 main ones you can use. And the best thing about it is that blue dragon is actually supposed to represent a Blue Eyes White Dragon, according to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki, which is pretty cool. And I thought that was a really nice touch because, you know, by the time this card came out, you know, normal decks, apart from Geminis, were struggling to get out their big monsters and everything. When this came out, it made it so much easier. So that's number 3. Number 2 is Polymerization. And this is the Duelist Pack Yugi version, and this is the dub version, and of course we still use the original as well. I've got the original somewhere, I just can't find it at the moment. Number 2, because this is my favourite way to poly into the Blue Eyes, because it's the original way that Kaiba and Yugi used to summon out the Ultimate Dragon. And I have to admit, I actually really liked the dub version a lot better than the original Japanese one, and because it's more, well, colourful really. So number 2. My very first favourite magic card is this one, Burst Stream of Destruction, because it's a Blue Eyes themed card, and it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon charging its Burst Stream of Destruction, which is its actual name in Japanese. But I mean, I like both attacks, White Lightning and Burst Stream of Destruction. Burst Stream of Destruction is just a bit more devastating, really. This is only available in the Ancient Sanctuary pack, as far as I'm aware. And it's basically, the reason why this is number 1 for me is because it's basically a free Regiki when you've got a Blue Eyes on the field. It rolls up all your opponent's monsters on the condition that the Blue Eyes can't attack that turn, which is a downside, because it doesn't matter what Blue Eyes you've got on the field, if you've got more than one, they all can't attack, which is a bit of a bummer. But OTK decks would normally like fuse the dragons and then attack with Ultimate Dragon, and because it's not Blue Eyes White Dragon, it can deal damage and attack. But yeah, at first when I saw this card, on the internet, I was like, oh, interesting. But I didn't actually realise I was a Blue Eyes White Dragon until I went back to it later, and I was like, oh, hang on, I really need to get this card. So yeah, that's my number 1 favourite magic card, is the Burst Stream of Destruction, because, you know, it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon attack, and it's a Blue Eyes card, and it's a free Regiki if you've got Blue Eyes in the field, which is a really nice touch. So, see you in the 3rd section.